Hey everybody, thanks for joining us out here again today for another episode of the VSO Gun Channel. We're out here on the range today, and this is going to be one of the few videos that we do that we actually don't shoot anything.
Psych!
That said, today's video is actually on a piece of medical equipment. It is the RATS tourniquet, or the Rapid Application Tourniquet System. Now, there's a variety of tourniquets out there. They all have solid uses. They're all very good in their own right. However, each one has its own strengths and weaknesses. And we're going to get into a little bit of that here today. This is obviously the blaze orange variant of the thing. It is offered in a couple different colors. Black, red, obviously orange, blue. There's a really nice neon green, toxic green that I really like. But the black ones go really good on guns, and I prefer the green one as almost like a accessory, like a watch or something like that. But anyway, that set aside, the RATS tourniquet is actually designed by a Special Forces warrior. I don't know if he wants me to use his name or not. We'll figure that out. But we tend to listen to those guys when they come up with applications in this field, kind of because they've been there, done that before, right? I'm not saying that everything that's come out of a Special Forces warrior's head is 100% gospel and should be taken that way, but this thing is pretty solid. Now, me personally, the reason I like this thing is the name, Rapid Application. This thing is very easily applied to your person with one hand if wounded. So if you're self-applying to an extremity, it's very easy to do. And that contrasts with things like the CAT tourniquet, which are a windlass style tourniquet where you apply it and you crank it down. I personally cannot put a RATS or a CAT tourniquet on my right arm with my left hand. I just can't do it. It doesn't work. I can't reach it properly and get it cranked down. I also have problems with my legs are quite large. Getting a CAT tourniquet high and tight on my leg and getting it properly locked down by myself is difficult.
All right, that one ain't gonna work. There you go. There you go.
Now, if somebody's putting it on me, obviously great. I have a couple of those things right here on my plate carrier, and those are for either for somebody to put on me after I've been wounded, or for me to rip off and apply to somebody else. So that tourniquet, no hits against it, carry it, works great. But for fast application, I carry a RATS tourniquet with me all the time when I'm both out in public because they smash down super easy, as you can see, and as well as out here on the range because, again, it's a fast application. So the way this thing works, pretty simple. You have basically a piece of bungee here that has this little samurai hat shaped thing here on the front and a 3-fingered loop here. If this gets compressed through training, you want to make sure that you can get 3 fingers into that loop right there. Very simple. Go ahead and run this through here like that, and go ahead, actually I'll get it backwards here, like this. Go ahead and run it through, and you want to go ahead and get it staged on top of the place where you want it to snug down. So you would then start wrapping the tourniquet and lock it down to shut off blood flow. Again, very easy to do, one-handed, very quick. So what we're going to go ahead and do real quick is get some equipment out and go ahead and demonstrate this thing for you guys right here, right now.
Okay.
All right, guys and gals, we're going to demonstrate why it is that you do not drink Monster on a regular basis. I've been sucking these down all morning, and my numbers should be pretty elevated. This is obviously a blood pressure thing.
Sphygmomanometer.
Whatever. That thing. So we're going to go ahead and take a baseline real quick. I know that this is not properly applied, okay? Clearly, it should be up here, but we want to make sure for this demonstration that the cuff is completely out of the way so I can get it in my artery here. When we apply a tourniquet, we want to apply a tourniquet as high and tight as we possibly can. And we're talking about an arm that's up in here, so we can shut off the brachial artery. There's a really good shot between your bicep, tricep, and delt here where you can get underneath and right in the crease to get to that brachial artery, which is right underneath your armpit. All right, guys, so we've gone ahead and staged the tourniquet here. We're gonna go ahead and get started. Now, because of this blood pressure cuff here, they got this cord, the motion that you're gonna wanna do is to go down and around like this. You can't really do that when you got a cord attached to your arm, so I'm gonna hand it under, and then Dog here is going to hand it back over the top so that I can just grab it. So it'll be pretty much self-applied, except for, you know, the meter here. So, guys, when you apply these things, they're supposed to hurt. We want to go ahead and apply these things as high and tight as we possibly can. Go ahead and get between those the bicep, tricep, and deltoid here so that we can get to that brachial artery and shut her down. So here we go. Dog, go ahead and get over here so that we can do this. And we're just going to pull. Yeah. Yeah, I can feel it already. Again, ow, they should hurt. Depending on how big your arms are, you may get more or less, or excuse me, fewer. Ah, gosh, that hurts. All right, we'll give it a second, and we'll turn on a blood pressure meter. Like I said, these things should hurt quite a bit, and this one does. All right. Ooh, losing feeling in my. Oop. I'm trying to hold still, even though this is killing me right now. You can tell it's having trouble. You can see
this is supposed to indicate pulse, and it's not reading anything.
Yeah, it's not reading anything. Oh, there was one. I think that might have been a twitch. Error.
It's not picking anything up.
Yep. Okay, so the other rule, guys, when you're training with tourniquets, is you never take off your own tourniquet. You never want to practice putting it on and taking it back off. So, Dog, if you can come in here and just go ahead, this is going to hurt. And as you can see, got a fair amount of that going on in there. And wow, does that hurt. Now it's starting to come back. So that was a pretty effective test of shutting her down. Works pretty good. Rat's tourniquet. We're going to move on to some more testing here. The Rat's tourniquet, and any tourniquet for that matter, only works on extremities. Your head is not an extremity. It'll shut down your brachial artery or your femoral arteries rather quickly. Applying it to the neck for your carotid arteries, probably not a very good idea, unless you're talking about, you know, maybe we'll try it on Wombat a little bit later. But that said, we're going to go ahead and do some testing here. We're going to go ahead and close out the testing properly. And we mentioned earlier that all tourniquets can be broken. And we're going to see just how much force it takes to break one of these Rat's tourniquets here. So what we're going to do is go ahead and back up the truck here. Go ahead and set this thing up on the hitch. Go ahead and pull it. See if we can break it. We're going to go ahead and take the 3-finger right here, get it over the hitch here, So we'll go ahead and just do, you know, like a basic.
Do a bowline.
I don't know how to do a bowline.
I do.
We'll come do a bowline then.
There. There.
As you can see, folks, you are not strong enough to break a rat's tourniquet. I personally have broken a cat tourniquet before. The little pieces of material that are attached to the windlass, they're somewhat breakable, especially if you're getting the crappy Chinese versions. But what we're gonna go ahead and do now is see how much it actually takes to break this sucker. Thanks for watching the VSO Gun Channel. We'll see you guys on the next video. All right, let's see what we got here. Go ahead. Definitely snappage, okay?
Yeah, just snap the rubber.
Yeah, the rubber insert there. Yeah, gone. Okay, there's the other half. Same deal.
Yep.
I'd say our, it looks to me like it cut it at the 3-finger loop. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So right there.
So it put pressure on the aluminum and just used it.
And used it as a shearing surface. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So there you go.
Yeah, it's right here.
Yeah. There's your data, folks. That's how you break a rat's tourniquet. But high speed nor I are strong enough to break a rat's tourniquet, that's for sure.